Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A for The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead leading into Season 7 and in the second half of Season 2 for Fear. And this one will include both. I've decided for Fear because there aren't too many individual questions for Fear independently. A lot of them cross over, a lot of the ones I'm getting. So the Q&As, sometimes I'll join them. Sometimes if I have enough to do, solo Fear Q&A, then that's what I'll do. But this is a great question. This one's from Teddy Stanghellini, and he says, Q&A Trev, where is The Walking Dead right now in Fear the Walking Dead timeline? So this is an awesome question. Fear the Walking Dead, of course, currently in the second half of Season 2. We just saw the premiere, Episode 8. We're going into Episode 9, Episode 8, Grotesque. And The Walking Dead going into Season 7. So in terms of Walking Dead timeline, and I'll link to the timelines on the Wikia, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. It's kind of funny for Fear, but Rick is still in a coma right now. It is at approximately, I want to say, it's probably been about 10 days since or maybe at least a few days since the mid-season finale for Fear. So since Celia and the compound was, destroyed and everything, and Nick has gone off on his own and the others have gone off. So that was day 20, according to the timeline. I'm going to guess there's been a short time skip, like a little bit of a time skip, as we're seeing Nick right now going into Episode 9, and we're going to probably kind of backtrack to see in the next few episodes of Fear what everyone else was doing while Nick was, on his journey. So in terms of where Nick is at right now, I'd probably put it at around like maybe, let's say 5 or 10 days, since the compound was destroyed. So that would put us at like day 25 or day 30, somewhere around there. And with regards to the Walking Dead TV show timeline, after the zombie outbreak, day 0 to 53, that's Coma time, right? Day 59 is when Rick wakes up. So Rick wakes up after about 2 months from when the outbreak starts, and so he is still sawing off logs right now. He is still sleeping where Fear is at right now in terms of placement. So the Fear crew's got kind of a bit of a jump start on the original Walking Dead. I think if you look at where Nick is at right now and what he's able to do in the zombie apocalypse, and Rick being, not even knowing what the hell's going on in his coma, the Fear of the Walking Dead crew is off to a pretty sweet start. So I thought that was a great question. Thanks, Teddy, and I'll link to the description to you guys so you can check the timelines yourself. Kind of funny to think, but very cool. So Rick's still in a coma. Next one's from Michael Hughes. He says, hey, Trev, would it be okay if Carol really was in a wheelchair permanently? Would you be okay with that? So no, of course not. So if Carol was just like paralyzed permanently, that would suck, man, because Carol's one of my favorite characters. But I do feel like for her, they're definitely taking her in a different direction in the TV series going into Season 7 and that, and from what we saw at the end of Season 6. So I don't know if she's going to continue to be like a fighter character. I almost think maybe, but it's like I don't think she's going to be on the front lines with All Out War. Like how will Carol fit into All Out War when Rick and the other groups fight back against Negan in the next couple seasons? That's going to be really tricky, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't always see her on the front lines consistently, so yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. It'd be cool to see still, but eventually you got to think, because she's quite a bit older and everything too, right, already, so, and she's already kind of done her part, she's done her fighting and that kind of thing, so we'll see what they do with Carol, but I can see it go either way with that. But no, I don't think she's going to be in the wheelchair permanently, but I also think maybe she won't be as active as she used to be in terms of fighting, Terminus and that kind of stuff. So I'd be very surprised if we saw stuff like that from her in All Out War. I don't think we'll see as much. Next one's from Kurt Jones, and he says, Q&A, Trev, my question is, who do you think this Brion leader character is? Could it be a remix of the DC Scavengers and the Wolves? And the Wolves was just a fill-in group. That is just what I was thinking. I was hoping you could give your thoughts on it. So it's a great question from Kurt. So who is the new Brion character? Not Byron. Brion, but it's a fake name probably. So it could be Derek, who's the leader of the Scavengers, but it seemed to me like the Wolves were supposed to be our television series version of the Scavengers in terms of timeline. So I'm thinking more that this Brion character and his group is probably the ones that are chasing Tara. He's probably the leader of that group because we see in the pictures that were released, the spoiler pictures, that Rick and the others go off out there, or at least they go off with Tara. So maybe she's either showing them where they were, or something along those lines to find out where this group is. Maybe they're going to go after him or something. That sounds like it could be really exciting for the second half of season 7. So I'm thinking he's just like a totally new villain, a totally new character. I don't think he's going to be based off of anyone in the comic book series right now, because when I look at the comic book series at this part in season 7, it's all about Negan and the communities. So it seems to me like they're going to add some stuff in, because I think they want to push All Out War mostly into season 8, maybe have it start just at the end of season 7. But it's a good idea to kind of push it into the next season if they want The Walking Dead to last 10 seasons or more. They kind of have to do that. They can't just buzz through all the content like season 3 did. Next one's from Andy Guadalupe, and he says, "Hey Trev, I wanted to ask if you're going to get The Walking Dead Season 6 on Blu-ray or DVD on August 23rd, which was yesterday. And if so, are you going to do an in-depth review for the DVD or Blu-ray, including the special features, deleted scenes, and the episode 16 Last Day on Earth extended cut that includes the Negan Uncensored Swearing Scene, or maybe a video reaction to that scene?" So I already did that. I did release it late last night. Late night before. So that's in the channel. If you guys want to see my thoughts on the uncensored part, if you haven't seen it yet, it'll be in the channel. So click the channel name and then click the uncensored Negan video. It's got the F word and a blur, but it's censored out. But it's fun. So I love the clip. I thought it was awesome. Check out the video if you guys want to see my full reaction. It's kind of like a review reaction, but I don't include the videos in my video because you got to be careful with stuff like that. And, it's not my stuff, right? I don't own that stuff. Even if you buy the DVD, it's still not really yours. You can upload it, I guess, but, you take chances with that. So I prefer not to take chances like that. I prefer to play it safe. I intend on being on YouTube long term, not short term, so there's no reason to take unnecessary risks like that. People can click the link in the description and watch the video. Some people asked about this, is why I'm saying this. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do a review of the whole thing, and I have it on pre-order, and I think it's shipping this week, so from Amazon. But here in Canada, we get everything later than you guys do in the States. So in the States, if it comes to comic books, figures, whatever, comics are pretty good, but releases of shows and stuff like that, you guys in the States, you guys are lucky. You get everything like instantly. Here in Canada, we always get stuff late, and sometimes we get your leftovers, stuff like that. Like, for example, a company will have a bunch of awesome stuff. Like, let's say, Nike or something has all kinds of awesome new shoes and shirts and stuff. Whatever doesn't sell, they send to Canada sometimes. Give us your guys' leftovers. And then we have to, we go to the store. It's like, oh, yeah, this is okay. It's like everything here sucks compared to in the States. And your food is so much better, too, by the way. It's like way better than here. So that kind of sucks, but hopefully I'll get it soon, and once I do, of course, I'll do a review of all the extended features and everything, give my thoughts on it in one video, so you guys can keep your heads up for that, probably next week sometime once I get my copy. Still waiting for it. So Scrimmy29 says, "Hey Trev, Q&A for you. I was wondering if you would be disappointed if the Negan kill wasn't Glenn," and then he mentioned someone else. So related to kind of some spoilers, kind of stuff. I thought it was Glenn from the first time I saw the episode. That was one of my predictions right away. I thought it was Glenn, after seeing the season 6 finale. So would I be disappointed if it wasn't him? Well, not necessarily. If they remix it, that's fine, but it has to be somebody big. And then he says, "How would you feel if it were Aaron or a smaller cast member?" Personally, I'd be really disappointed. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Trev. Keep up the good work. And we'll do a couple more after this one. So to answer your question, I would be disappointed if it was just like one smaller character. It would kind of be like an opt-out because they made it a cliffhanger. If it wasn't a cliffhanger, it would be okay if they went with somebody like Aaron or they went with somebody like that. Because it's a cliffhanger, we have to wait all the way until the next season, from the finale to the premiere, so many months in that over the summer. It's got to be big. It has to be a big character, and I still think it's Glenn. Could I be wrong? Yes, but we'll see how it all works out. But as long as it's a big character, then I would be okay with it. Even if they chose somebody like Michonne or something like that, which I don't, they won't. I know they won't. But even if they were to choose somebody like that, I would want it to be one of the big characters because it's a big turning point in the series and it needs to have a huge character death. And we haven't had any huge deaths from our immediate, A-list group for quite a while now. So, granted, No Way Out was pretty intense, so there was some crazy deaths there. Trashy says, why am I still getting hate in the comments? Because, Trashy, this is the internet. That's what this is, my friend. If you expect to go on the internet and comment and do stuff like that and not get hate, then you're in the wrong place, man. This is the internet. That's what it is. People can say whatever they want, and there's no... there's nothing anybody can do about it. People can just literally do whatever they feel like. So it kind of gives you an idea of how dark people's inner thoughts can be sometimes when you look at what they do on the internet. And the last one will be from, this one's from Skaboik, and he said, wouldn't it be awesome to see John Bernthal in the show again, even for one flashback or something? And then someone else replied, I forgot to write down their name, but they said, for what purpose, man? People just can't let go. He's not relevant to the story anymore. Time to move on. So, yeah, I agree with the person who replied. Sorry, I didn't, I copy-pasted Skaboyk's name twice instead of the other person. My bad. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. There's a certain amount of time that it would be cool to see like flashback characters like that. But then there's another set of time when it's like that's too far gone. That's too far back to be bringing characters in for a flashback once you get to a certain point. And at this point now, Shane is totally out of the story. He's totally, and unless it's like at the very end of the series and Rick is killed, and then you see a final dream sequence or something like we saw with Tyrese, but with Lori and maybe Carl and maybe Shane or something like that. That would be cool if they did something like that at the very end. But right now, there'd be no reason. It wouldn't serve the story at all. And he had some scenes afterwards where he came back in season 3, and that was really cool, where Rick was kind of like losing it and stuff, and he thought, was it Martinez? Was Shane. That was cool. Yeah, and that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. If you liked it, as usual, please thumb it up. If you missed the Negan video, check it out. You can also share if you got a Facebook you want to share through, and check out the Facebook page. Link will be in the description. And subscribe if you're new. Bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this video today. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. You can share, you can favorite, you can subscribe. Hell, you're all going to be doing that.